Okay, hi, this is Ken Urban. We're continuing our CSC 125 lectures. What I have here is the point class we've done a little work on previously. Basically, we decided that there's this thing called a point, right? If I open the header file, right, we have basically point just contains an x and a y for each individual object, and then the mutator and accessor functions, and a couple of constructors that we built. And then we tested them out here in the main function. I want to add some functionality to this with our points. Specifically, I want to add a function that tells the distance between 2 points. So if I want to know the distance between, let's say, P and L, I could do P dot, and I'm going to call it distance 2. They're probably going to have better names. L. And the distance is going to be a double, right? Some sort of floating point. So, and we'll need to calculate. But notice that it's returning a double. It's got the object that you're doing it on, and it's also passing a point as a parameter. So let's go write that prototype up here. It's neither a mutator nor an accessor, so I'm just going to put it down here with the print. Right? We decided it returns a double. It takes, it's called distance 2, and it gets a point. I'll just call it data, because that's pretty much what I call them unless I know specifically what they are. So anyway, you know what? Let's just call it P. P is going to be my generic name for a point. Now, of course, this P is going to be completely different than this P up here. So, out here on the point, right, we have our prototype. Let's go start putting the code in. Now we have something a little more out here. It returns the double. It's a member of the point class. It's called distance 2, and it gets a point called P as a parameter. It's going to have our body in there. And just to stub it out now, we'll return 0 as a double, just to make sure everything works. And we have all the pieces together. It says, I ended up with 2 close squiggly braces. Let's try it again. See, it's easy to find mistakes because it's always right where you typed it. Okay, and we have over here this 0 sitting at the end. My debugging can use a little help there. So let's recall the formula. It's the square root of x1 times, x1 minus x2 squared plus y1 minus y2, and then that whole deal is squared. And let me make sure I have my balanced parentheses here. Okay, so that's our formula just to kind of work from. Okay. I guess we'll use the built-in math functions like sqrt and pow, although even multiplying 2 things together, you could probably just do that. We know that they're in CMath, so we're going to include CMath. And what is it? Well, it's the square root of, now comes this thing, so that's pow of, now the first coordinate is, it's not P, P is actually, we'll use P as the second one. First one is my x minus P dot my x, right? So this is what we would refer to as the current object, my x and the current object, and this is going into this object and pulling out its my x. It's private, but I'm a member of the point class, so I can access the private data of other objects in that class. And, oh, and that's comma 2, right? Because we're squaring it. And then I'm going to add kind of a similar thing, so I'm just going to cut and paste it here. It doesn't all fit on the screen. I have a very big font here, so I'm just going to put it on the next line. All right, so I have my y minus py squared. And then I can just take the square root of that. Now I know that pow returns a double, and square root returns a double. And I guess we could be real specific and stick a double in here just to make sure that we're all in double. So now let's see if it compiles. Okay. And I have some number up here, but I don't really know if it works. So what I'm going to do is let's test this a little more. Let's P to L. Let's set P to be at 2, 2, and L to be at 2, 3. Right? We know that distance is 1. Right? And it gave us a 1. Well, that's enough testing, right? We would have to test this a little more. Right? Let's see. 3, 3. What does that give us? And we all know that it would be the square root of 1, which is 1.414, whatever. So, yeah, okay. On 2, it looks like it's working. So the idea here is that we can access, right, data from other objects inside of this. This sticks with our rules, and our idea is that, yes, we're still using, we're still inside. We're building these points. So using the data in here when we're building them is fine. Right? I don't need to use them outside. Okay.